Welcome, welcome, welcome to Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa's online Sunday service. I am delighted to welcome each and every one of you to join with each other to receive our offering of spiritual nourishment for the soul. My name is Linda McCabe, and I'm honored to be the SF for this Sunday service. Before we start our service today, we would like to acknowledge the Algonquin Nation, on whose traditional unceded territory we are holding this online service. And we gratefully acknowledge them as past, present, and future stewards of this land. Miigwech. And please welcome our prayer partner, the big-hearted Mary Way, as she opens this service in prayer. Welcome, Mary.
Good morning, everyone. I remember when we were conducting our services back at the Good Life, Good Companion Center. One of my most favorite things to do was to actually physically lift up that candle and say, "Behold the Christ candle." It just warmed my heart. And so too, this beautiful candle that Sheila has found for us is both a reminder of the love and the light that we are. It symbolizes the Christ consciousness that dwells within us, that never-ending light and love. So let us begin in prayer. As we take a moment to breathe and to release our human concerns, I sink into my sacred heart space and open to unlimited light and understanding of this Christ consciousness, the magnificence of my divine nature. I recognize that God is infinite love and steadfast wisdom, an inexhaustible current of life-giving energy. And knowing this, I invite you to affirm with me, I am an individualized expression of love and wisdom centered in divine energy. I trust my divinely guided intuition and open my heart and mind to the wisdom of today's service. Standing in the heart of gratitude, I bask in the energy of this precious time we have together and our unmistakable unity. And so it is. Amen.
Well, thank you, Mary, for centering us, for grounding us in prayer. It is such a powerful, powerful tool. And now I would like to welcome Spencer back to open with a joy song.
Thank you, Linda.
What a wonderful world, written by George David Weiss and Bob Thiel, and performed by you. So we look forward to it.
Thank you, Linda. And by the way, guys, George David Weiss would have been 100 this year. So, happy would-be centennial. Right, sound here. Hang on a second, guys. My keyboard's my digital piano is acting a little strange. It's loading.
This morning seems to be the morning for technical challenges. Let's embrace it.
Seems to be working now. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, blessed day, the dogs say goodnight, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the skies, also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Ooh, yes. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful, Spencer. I just love that song, and I do love the way you do it. So many thanks. So welcome to this. We're heading into the week that embraces Earth Day on the 22nd. So I celebrate that spring is everywhere. And I celebrate that Mother Earth has risen again in all her glory. So are you celebrating as well? So I have a story. My teacher, Sananda, was explaining the ways of trees. He described that although the seed holds all the intelligence of the architecture of the tree, in other words, the blueprint of the tree, it doesn't have its predestined architecture. It is the seed in relationship to the soil conditions, the sun, water, and nourishment it receives that determines how it grows. There is no set blueprint. There is only the willingness and the flexibility of the tree to respond to its environment and to be shaped by that environment. You know, the tree as it moves and is shaped by all that it experiences. And so, in other words, while the oak seed will always become an oak tree, the final tree is a culmination of its relationships with the environment in which it's growing in. And isn't that the same with each of us? We have the human architecture, but we are shaped by our relationships with nature, animals, other humans, and the social, economic, and political environments that we are raised in and currently live. Thus, we will always be human and always be unique. We are nature, and nature is us. And because nature creates from love, therefore we too are love. And Unity's way shower, Jesus or Yeshua, is divine love. And this love also expresses through us when we respond to life from an open heart. And I'm delighted to welcome Unity friend and member, Ellwood Mitchell, who will share later in the service a real life story of experiencing the loving teachings of Jesus. And Ellwood, I'm looking forward to your interview with the Unity's newest journalist, Reverend Roxanne Buckle. And so when we open our hearts and consistently express unconditional love, we create healthy, ecologically focused communities, thus experience our vision, an awakened world celebrating oneness. So take a breath and experience what an awakened world celebrating oneness is, especially in these times, because the power of our imagination, fueled by all the other powers, is creating a world that actually is working for one, will work for one going forward. In our mission, we do that through expanding consciousness and transforming lives. So our Unity's worldwide theme for this year is how to stay centered no matter what. And what I love about Unity teachings is they assist us to gain awareness and mastery of our own innate power, and how to express them. Unity has developed these attributes into 12 powers, and each month we're focusing on one of those powers. This month, our focus is on the power of love. And our affirmation is, and join with me, please, together, an inexhaustible dream of divine love pours through me, blessing others and myself. And I invite you to soak in the love showcased in this video from Unity Worldwide Ministries.
Loved one, beloved one, you who are made of gold, behold, beautiful soul, this gift of everlasting love. May we rejoice in a dance of reverence for how good you are to us, love, our sacred healer, our best friend, our source of life. May we rest in your warmth, laugh within your rays, stay for days in this sacred space. May we fall in love, may we be love, discover the majestic power of self-love. May we remember we are designed exclusively to shine, loved one, beloved one, you who are made of gold. Behold, beautiful soul, el sol, the sun, radiating within you. Let us adjust our crowns, kings and queens, rise from the ground, speak out loud to the universe, I am love, I am loved, I receive love, love flows abundantly, love is surrounding me, love is healing me, love is me.
Oh, it's so beautiful. So let's turning now to our announcements. Big reminder that the AGM, our annual general meeting, is next Sunday after our Serenity service, our Earth Day Serenity service. And it will be held at 12:30 on Zoom. And it's a reminder that this is a separate Zoom link. Okay, so it's your opportunity to hear our board president present her report outlining the past year's events. It's going to be a treat because Susan Hagar, our board president, will be broadcasting all the way from Peru. So to receive those energies will be a treat. We also will receive the Treasury's report for 2020 and welcome the new members that will be joining the board of directors. So all of the members have received the handouts for this, plus the link. If any non-member, you're all welcome to attend. Non-members are not eligible to vote. However, we'd love to have you present. So if you would like to join us, send an email to Sheila at the office unityottawa.ca, sorry, ignore that. The address will become
Office unityottawa@yahoo.ca. It's in the newsletter. Everyone knows that. Well, I shouldn't say it.
Thank you, Sheila. Yeah, I should know that. I do know it, but not at this moment. I did not know it. So all are welcome. And yes, please send Sheila an email requesting the link and the handouts. And as well, it is on the newsletter, so you can refer to that to get it. So next, Michael Swinwood, who's also in Peru, will hold the full moon ceremony on Monday, April 26th at 7 p.m. So that is the following Monday, not this Monday, the following Monday at 7 p.m. And the link will be found on the website calendar. And Sheila will just pull that up. So unityottawa.org. And the calendar, you'll see how easy it is if you haven't used the calendar before, how easy it is to use it. You just go to the actual date, Monday the 26th, and open that up, and you will see there's a link, and click on that and you will be able to join. So look forward to seeing you at that time. So I want, on behalf of the prayer partners, I want to thank you all for the generosity that you provided us. We have received a total of $1,280, $1,280 raised. And this will go a long way in financially supporting our team that attended the most uplifting, most wonderful training. So all of our community will benefit from this training. So the team wishes to thank you from the bottom of our entire hearts, and we will close out this fundraiser today. So, and if anyone feels called to, share some more, then that's great too. We will lovingly receive it. But we're just wanting to say just how grateful we are to each and every one of you for recognizing the value of our team. Blessed be. Also on Unity Canada is providing some more spiritual enrichment courses. They're starting tomorrow on Monday, April 19th. Everyone is welcome to attend. Even you can use it as a credit or as a non-credit. For more information or to register, it is better to email Wendy Carr, who's a licensed Unity teacher, at unityottawa.adulted, ADULTED, at gmail.com. unitycanada.adulted@gmail.com. And Wendy will send you the courses and send you the information you need to register. And as always, an open invitation to join our newsletter if you're new to us, and Sheila will add you to our list. Thank you. So I would love to invite Spencer back to sing a song, another joy song, Healing Time on Earth, written by John Denver and performed by you, Spencer. Take it away.
Thank you. Let the mountains talk, let the rivers run. There is wisdom here, there is much to learn, there is much to know, much to understand. In this healing time, all across the land. You've heard my songs for so many years. You have laughed with me, washed away my tears. You have shared my joy, you have felt my pain. In this healing time, walk with me again. These darker days on this narrow line, help me find my way. Let me see the signs. I'm not afraid, I'm not alone. You have taught me well, you have brought me home. Let the mountains speak, let the rivers run, as the world awakes to the rising sun. In each brand new day, in our own rebirth, this healing time on our Mother Earth. Let the mountains talk, let the rivers run. There is wisdom here, there is much to learn. In each brand new day, in our own rebirth, in this healing time for our Mother Earth. In each brand new day, in our own rebirth, in this healing time on our Mother Earth.
Oh, that is beautiful, beautiful, Spencer. I think John Denver must have had a premonition and wrote that song way back then for these times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and beautiful background picture. I really appreciate that, Sheila. Thank you. So now, as I turn to the daily word, I welcome Kate Capogreco to share with us the daily word. Kate?
Thank you, Linda. Good morning, everyone. The daily word today for Sunday, April 18th is pray for others. With mind and heart, I know the truth for each person I hold in prayer. A friend, someone said, knows the truth for you until you can know it for yourself. Praying for friends, family members, and those I haven't met, I center my awareness in the truth that each one for whom I pray is a living expression of God, just as I am. Letting go of fear, I release thoughts of lack, illness, disharmony, or any limitation. I see each person for whom I pray abundantly blessed. I see each one warmed and comforted by divine love that lifts their hearts and brings harmony to their relationships. I affirm their abundant living guided by divine love, wisdom, and understanding. I see each life unfolding in perfect divine order, enjoying security, health, and joy. And from 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 15, I will pray with the Spirit, but I will pray with the mind also. I will sing praise with the Spirit, but I will sing praise with the mind also. Thanks.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for lovingly reading that passage for us today. So I'd like to invite our prayer partner today, Mary Way, to come on to share the affirmative prayer with us. And following Mary's prayer, Reverend Roxanne will come on for our meditation. So thank you, Mary, for joining us.
This month, we're celebrating and about just enjoying the fact that we are the power of love. This is the ability to attract, to unify, and desire. The disciple connected with this power is John, and the color is pink. The location, of course, is at the back of the heart. Let's affirm together, I am a radiating center of love. This month, we're praying also for unity of Comox Valley, Courtney, BC, and unity Nanaimo in Nanaimo, BC. So please take a moment and bring to mind those that you wish to be held in prayer. Let us hold in prayer all those that we've put in the chat box, all those that we hold deep in our hearts and our minds. I open to continuous, ever-flowing love and life, to the one power and presence manifest in all people and all situations. I know that God is life, love, harmony, and wholeness, an enduring, ever-present understanding and healing energy in every situation. And so I know as well that I am an individualized expression of this power and presence, and that we all are. You are, we are, our loved ones are, these situations are, all centered and surrounded in love, loving energy, and wholeness. In this knowing, all that no longer serves is lovingly released. All is enfolded in divine love and wholeness. I am overflowing with appreciation for this reminder of the truth I know and for its fulfillment in present circumstances. And so it is. Amen.
And so let us continue to join in consciousness and remain in the beautiful prayerful energy that Mary has co-created with us. And as we are 30 or so gathered in consciousness, we remember Jesus's words, where two or more are gathered, there I am amongst you. And so here we are joined in consciousness so that we may celebrate and remember our divine identity. And so as we prepare and continue to deepen into our knowing of divine identity, I invite Spencer, who will share a relaxing meditative song called Let Go of the Shore. And I invite you to just get into a position that best supports you to relax and open your heart and minds to remember divine identity. Spencer.
Let go of the shore and let the water carry me. Let go of the shore, flow into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry me. Let go of the shore, flow into the mystery. I have all I need, it's all inside of me. Close my eyes and breathe, and it's all that I am still. Let go of the shore and let the water carry me. Let go of the shore, flow into the mystery, flow into the mystery.
And so we let go of the shore. We let go of that sense of being only human as we deepen into the awareness and let the water, let our divine nature that we know as love carry us into that deeper, ever expanding awareness that yes, it is all inside of me. And so we allow for the truth that has been spoken, that has been prayed, that has been read, and that has been sung to seep into our awareness so that we may know ourselves as the divine love that we are. Love is our nature. It is our divine blueprint. Infinite, eternal, unchanging, everlasting love. And I know myself to be the harmonizing power of love as I shift my attention to that which is out of harmony that may be showing up in my life, as physical sickness, as a strained relationship, as an disharmonious thought in my monkey mind. And I know myself to be the presence and power of love at all times. And so I say yes. I say yes to birthing that greater awareness of the power of love that I am. And know that it is the love within me, the power and presence of love that allows me to unconditionally accept all the conditions, all the situations that exist in this human experience. And it is the unifying power of love that allows me to view it all and know that all things truly are and truly do work together for good. And so I just allow the knowing, I allow the embodiment of the one power and the one presence that is love to catch a glimpse of the good that is in this moment. And so let us take that idea that I say yes to birthing a greater awareness of the power of love that I am into the silence. I say yes. I say yes. I say yes to birthing a greater awareness of the power and presence of love that I am, that you are, that we all are. And I give thanks for this realization that there is only love. And as one of my favorite songs, there is only love, a love that heals, a love that sets me free. There is only love. And so I invite you to bring your attention back to this time and space as we deepen into our collective understanding of the power of love and get ready for the Sunday message, which invite Linda back and she'll just introduce that.
Oh, thank you, Roxanne. Reverend Roxanne, that was a beautiful, beautiful meditation. And before I get started on the introduction, so I just want to remind everyone to, if you're not on speaker view, you may want to put your select that as your preference, because this will optimize your experience of the Sunday talk. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome Dr. Ellwood Mitchell, who is our featured Sunday speaker. This will be a unique talk as Reverend Roxanne Buckle is stepping into her debut role. I believe it's debut, is it, Roxanne? As a journalist. Her brainchild was to use an interview format to elicit a beautiful love story from Ellwood's past, the story of Joe. And just in case there is someone here who does not know Ellwood, let me tell you a little bit about him. Ellwood has followed Jesus's teachings on love, and he believes that influenced him to choose a helping profession. Dentistry has enabled him to lead a most interesting and fortunate life, which has included living and working for several years in Canada's north. He established and worked at a volunteer street dental clinic in Ottawa and participated in several medical mission trips to the Caribbean and Central America. And on a personal note, I know Ellwood to be a kind, humble, and most generous person. So please sit back, relax, open your hearts and minds to receive the message as I welcome both Reverend Roxanne and Ellwood to share the wisdom. Thank you both.
Oh, thank you, Linda. And as Linda mentioned, I'm channeling my inner Oprah. You know, for those of you who know me, some of you may realize I wanted to be a journalist when I grew up. And so when I had this opportunity to connect with Ellwood and talk about him sharing, I said, hey, why don't we do interview format? And so, hey, Ellwood, how's it going? Oh, and so I'm going to ask the questions, and Ellwood's going to take up most of the time. So I just am so thrilled because Ellwood, I have a beautiful history with Ellwood. I mean, one of the things that I officiated Ellwood and Linda's wedding, and so that's very special to me, and know him to be just a beautiful embodiment of the power of love. But one of my first exposures to Ellwood was soon after he joined Unity. He came to a metaphysical Bible interpretation class that I was teaching, and I remember it was at Sharon Anderson's house, and I remember thinking, wow, this guy knows his Bible, you know? And that always struck me as something really, really important, because I have very little background in knowledge of the Bible. I know how to metaphysically interpret. So my first question then, Ellwood, to share with the group is, where does your familiarity with the Bible come from?
Well, I grew up in a church-going family, and where we attended church regularly. And the emphasis there, I wouldn't say the emphasis, but important part of that church group was the Sunday school. We called it the church school. And there were classes from toddlers to very old folks, the whole range, and the teachings. Well, the teachings were the emphasis on Jesus and Jesus' knowledge of the Hebrew scriptures and how we tied that together. So that's my familiarity with the Bible. I'm a church school graduate, a Sunday school graduate.
I can really tell how that really shaped your evolution as a spiritual being having a human experience. And so, Ellwood, just in terms of I know everybody loves to know this, and I love to hear it, is just to talk to us a little bit about how long have you been attending Unity, what drew you to Unity, and just briefly, how has attending Unity impacted you in your life?
Okay, I'd be happy to do that. I've been attending Unity since 2014. So, what drew me to Unity, or how I discovered Unity, might be the first part of that. Well, I had a very good friend. What drew me to Unity was a result of a very good friend attending a funeral. This friend said to me shortly after, she said, "Ellwood, I have attended the most beautiful funeral that I have ever been to in my life. I can't even describe it to you, how meaningful it was." But she was continuing to say how beautiful a funeral this was. And so I inquired like where it was, and I thought to myself, well, that intrigues me. I want to find this church and find the minister. And shortly after, I met Reverend Roxanne. And she was the one who did that most beautiful funeral, which impressed my friend. I think that's an amazing story. I found after starting to attend Unity that I was already exploring a lot of the beliefs of Unity, and I already believed a lot, like the fact that we're all created in God's image and likeness. Therefore, we're divine. We're children of God. Therefore, we're all brothers and sisters. God is love. Therefore, we are love. So I felt right at home from the beginning, and it was the teachings were at my growing age, which felt good for them to be at that point, and they were interesting. How has Unity impacted my life? Well, it's given me the opportunity to study and learn more among a loving group of like-minded individuals. I think that sums it up.
Wow. I love hearing how people come to Unity. And I actually didn't know that about a friend of yours having attended a funeral or a celebration of life that I had
A beautiful
I had officiated. So I'm just so touched by that. And we just never know where our connections will come. And I also love hearing about, we know that Unity was created by Myrtle and Charles Fillmore, and they really thought about the unity of all religions. So I also like to hear how people with a seemingly different background to Unity, how the teachings really do connect quite closely to the other faith traditions. We have so much more in common than we have different. So anyway, so my next question, as you all know, and as you know, Ellwood, this month at Unity, we're deepening our awareness of love, one of the 12 powers that make up our Christ consciousness. And so Jesus, unity's way shower, who guided us to more fully realize our own divine nature, taught a lot about love, as Ellwood has already mentioned. So I'm going to pull up some slides, and Ellwood, my question for Ellwood is, because I asked him this as I was hearing about his what he was going to share, is what are some of your favorite scriptures about Jesus's teachings on love? Because there's so many, and I kind of wanted Ellwood to, just show us a couple. And many of you will recognize what Ellwood's going to show, but I just love, I never can get enough of Jesus's teachings. So Ellwood, what have you got to share with us on a couple of your pieces of scripture that most resonate with you?
Well, of course, as I've been stating, I've been interested, I guess, most of my life about Jesus' teachings of love. And then when I started to read the scripture in that, I started to learn the teachings. And I discovered that Jesus had grown up in his religious setting, being taught the old law that stated there was an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, a kind of revenge type of way of looking at things. But very early on in Jesus' teachings, he said, here's something, there's a scripture from Matthew 5, if we can have a scripture there. He said, there's a saying, love your friends and hate your enemies. But I say to you, love your enemies. That must have shaken him up a bit. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them that despitefully use you and persecute you. And Jesus, I think at that point, I'm sure Jesus understood that it would be hard for people to love their enemies. And then he began to explain how they might exactly do that. And he said, I have a prayer for you, and he introduced his prayer. And in his prayer, he said, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Forgive us our wrongs that we have done as we forgive those who've wronged us. I think he was priming the people up to understand that if other people had done wrongs, that they had too. And so he was emphasizing that, he was emphasizing for forgiveness. Another one, Jesus was once asked, well then, how often should we forgive? 7 times? And his response was, no, not 7 times, but 70 times. I can just imagine Peter, one of the disciples, saying it this way, hey, Jesus, you're going on and on about this forgiveness business. How many times do we really have to forgive? And Jesus answered, well, I think I read you did I read you the scripture? Yes, I did read this. I'm getting ahead of myself. Peter said to Jesus, and Jesus replied, I should have broken that one up. And not 7 times, but 70 times 7 times.
Wow. That's a lot.
Then, so forgiveness was very important in Jesus' teachings on love. And then Jesus didn't just teach by the word, but by example. And of course, the greatest of these was at the time of his death, at the time he was being executed. And Jesus said to the people there, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." And he didn't say this, but I'm sure he thought this. He said, they're acting out of fear. They think I've come to destroy their religion and beliefs with my teachings. But I've just come to teach them love. And they don't know it yet. So, Father, please forgive them. Now, there's another fundamental aspect of the way Jesus taught us love. It was his emphasis on not judging. He said, do not judge and you won't be judged. Don't condemn and you won't be condemned. Forgive and you'll be forgiven. It's interesting that the Dalai Lama was once asked, what is love? And he answered, love is the absence of judgment. So love is letting go of our continually judging. It's difficult to let go of that, but it's an important step, How many times, for instance, do we make a quick judgment of a situation or perhaps act in a non-loving way? And we find out later that the situation had been entirely different. I think that's probably happened to all of us. I know it's happened to me. So my quick judgment didn't help me in any loving way.
Thank you for those just powerful scriptural passages, Ellwood, and your take on them, which are like they really touched me. And you know, we're now gonna hear a story. Ellwood's gonna share a very powerful story about the power of love, but I'm also seeing it as really a story of forgiveness and non-judgment, which are aspects of love, as Ellwood said. And this story that Ellwood witnessed while living up in Nunavut, okay, during the 1990s. And Ellwood's gonna, let me just get another slide up here. And before we get into the story, Ellwood's just gonna situate it a little bit with, you know, why was he up in Nunavut? Where was he? Why did he go there? And what was it like there? So Ellwood's gonna just give us a little bit, situate us up in Nunavut for this story that we're gonna hear.
Okay, well, I guess, excuse me. I guess I'd always had a desire to discover the North. And what took me up there, I guess, was the adventure of finally being able to realize a dream and to go up north. By being able to go up there and practice dentistry amongst the Inuit people. Well, what I did there, I had a dental in all the little communities. You can see in Nunavut there are actually 25 communities. They all have a health center staffed by trained nurses, outpost nurses they were called. They're the equivalent of a nurse practitioner in the South. And the nurses provided all the primary medical care to the people in the various scattered small communities. There's a dental clinic in all those health centers, and that's where I was situated. And what was it like? He said, what was it like to live up there? Well, I thought, I have to say, I thought I died and gone to heaven, because I was fulfilling a dream. And if there are any hunters and fisher people in our audience today, the hunting season up there was from January the 1st to the 31st of December. We're in the South. I grew up in a family. We had a commercial fishing and hunting lodge, and we were limited to a couple of weeks of hunting. And there it was the whole year, and the same with fishing. And on most weekends, or regularly, I was able to go out after I outfitted myself with skin caribou clothing and getting a skidoo and equipment. I was able to go out with the hunters, the local hunters, and hunt to supply food for the community. It was mostly caribou and seal hunting. Now, if we look at Nunavut, it's a big area. It's actually 1/5 of the land mass of Canada. It consists of 25, as I mentioned, scattered communities, hundreds of kilometers between each other, no roads. You could only travel between communities by air, or in winter by snowmobile. Population of all this total area, 38,000 people today, and 85% Inuit. If we look up at the top of the map, we see alert. Now that's a Canadian weather and military base station. It's the closest land mass to the North Pole of any place in the world. And it's the jumping off spot for the skiers and hikers who trek to the North Pole, which they do regularly. Now, I should point out some other places. The capital of Nunavut is Iqaluit there, down at the bottom of Baffin Island. Now, Baffin Island itself goes from Iqaluit there. It used to be Frobisher Bay. Maybe people remember it as Frobisher Bay. It's renamed Iqaluit. The length of Baffin Island portion of Nunavut is over 1,600 kilometers. So it'll give you an idea of the size of Nunavut. It's over 1,000 miles long, just Baffin Island. Some other places around that people may know of, Resolute Bay, up on on the Northwest Passage up toward the top, Resolute Bay. A place I'm going to be mentioning is down along the coast of Hudson Bay, Rankin Inlet. I have a story to tell you about Rankin Inlet.
Are you ready for the story now, Ellwood, or do you have to give some more background?
I'm ready for the story.
Okay, so
anyhow, yeah, I better get going here.
no, I think we have so many more times that you're going to come and educate us on the North. This is so interesting, but we're going to get to the, but that's so, it's so interesting to hear how your background wove into this opportunity to share your dream. And I just, you know, would love to hear for everybody, like what happened, the story about Joe, what happened to, what we're getting here, folks, is a real live story about the power of teachings on love, on non-judgment and forgiveness, and to especially love your enemies. So we're gonna just take the slide down now so that Ellwood we can just see Ellwood as he shares what I think is a really beautiful story. So please go on, Ellwood, and share the story.
Well, first I have a short story before telling you about Joe. This was one time a young fellow came into the dental clinic, and I hadn't seen him around town. And so I mentioned to him, you know, that I hadn't seen him and where had he been, and right off the bat, he said, well, I just got back from Stony Mountain. And I just wondered, well, where's the Stony Mountain? I didn't say anything to him, but he said, yeah, I've been down in the federal prison down in Stony Mountain. Well, that's a short story that got me thinking, well, why is this young man telling me that story just so nonchalantly? But I deduced that he wasn't afraid of being judged. He had no fear of being judged. And that was new and different to me, because most people that I know, myself included, have a fear of being judged, or at least it's basic there, and we don't go. And if he told me this story, then he wasn't afraid of being judged. And I didn't really know why that could be so. Was he a one-off or not? Anyhow, the story of Joe. Joe was part of a young married couple, and it ended up in what we now call intimate partner violence. And Joe ended up killing his wife. He was convicted and sent to a federal prison in southern Canada. There were no federal prisons at that time. This was in the 90s. And there was no federal prison in Nunavut. After Joe had been down in the prison in the South, the elders of the town, some of the elders of the town went down to visit Joe. And they found him sitting there sad and depressed. And when they got back home, they petitioned the court to let Joe go and let him come home and serve out his sentence with them. Now, this happened in the town of Aglulik at the top of Baffin Island. Excuse me. At the time, there were about 950 people living in Aglulik. And when Joe came home, you can only come home in an airplane. And the airports are close to town. And there were over 900 people at the airport to welcome and to see Joe come home. Well, Joe went out with the elders, hunting and fishing to supply food for the community. At the end of this, at the end of Joe's sentence and that, it was the time in the 90s when the Nunavut government were just beginning. They're just getting started. They were just forming the government. And somebody from the government came and recruited Joe. Since Joe, I should say, Joe had been active in his local, in education, in his local school board, in his local school. And some people from the government came and recruited Joe to become part of the newly forming Department of Education in the Nunavut government, which Joe did, and he received a senior position in the Nunavut government. Now, these stories demonstrated to me and how the people of Igloolik had reacted to Joe and these stories, Joe's story, demonstrated to me that maybe it just was possible, maybe, to love in the manner that Jesus taught. Because after all, the Inuit were doing it, and maybe so could I. Well then,
That is so, I teared up the first time you told me the story, Ellwood, and I find it so touching when you talk about how 900 people met him at the airport on his homecoming. That is just, what a way to see the whole person, right? Just to be forgiving, and he rose up in the government. Wow.
And where was that coming from?
Yeah. And I put the slides back up because is this the point where you're going to show? I don't want to give it away, but the prisons that were built. I'm not.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not getting too far ahead.
To carry on from feeling that, well, if the Igloolik people could be that, if the Inuit people could be that, I remembered what Jesus told his followers just before he left the world, that and a lot of them were concerned about what they were going to do without him. They'd seen him murdered, but they did see him resurrected. But what were they going to do without him? Because they realized, and he stated he was leaving them. But before, so he said to them, not in essence, not to worry. I won't leave you comfortless. I'll send you my spirit to be with you. And most of you can remember that verse in the New Testament. It will be your guide and teacher and counselor. Just ask anything you want. So I thought, well, that applies to me. I was used to asking Jesus a lot of things. So I asked if I could understand love the way that the Inuit people understood love. And right away, I was brought back to the basics of that we're children of God. We're all brothers and sisters. And I asked, well, could I see these brothers and sisters through your eyes, through the eyes of Jesus, the eyes of Christ? I genuinely wanted to see everyone with love and without judgment. Then I began to see each person I saw as a beautiful child of God. I just knew that. Trying his or her best to have a good life. Every person I pictured or thought about. And I felt a deep, deep love for them. And a lot of compassion. And this ability has continued with me to this day.
Thank you for that, Ellwood. And I just think maybe we could finish up with you explaining. This also just blew my mind. These are the prisons in Nunavut, and their names especially, and their the idea of them.
Well, since Joe's period in the prison, there were no, as I mentioned, there were no prisons in Nunavut, and he had to go down to the south. In 2013, Rankin Inlet got a new prison. As you can see, it's written on the building, if you can see the fine print, Rankin Inlet Healing Facility. I had never really heard of any prisons in southern Canada being called healing facilities, but there was the new prison in Rankin Inlet. And then just recently, or what's happening right now, in Iqaluit, capital city, they're building another prison because those two places, Rankin and Iqaluit, are a long way apart, and so there's a necessity of having another prison area. And they've named that prison, as you can see in the title, as Akiarvik Correctional Healing Facility, another healing facility. And Akiarvik in the Inuktitut language means a place for help to make progress in life. Do you know of any prisons in southern Canada?
That just yeah, that is just such a
healing
such a great example of a community grounded in love, as forgiveness and non-judgment, to be calling their places of healing places. So, in wrapping up, Ellwood, I just want to, thank you for your beautiful sharing, your vulnerability, your courage to speak to us. And I'm just wondering, do your tremendous insights and lived experience about the power of love. And do you have any last words to share with us before we are, I mean, it's time well spent, right? I mean, So just wondered, any last words just before we turn it back to Linda?
Okay, just to review, I've tried to show you that Jesus came to teach us love. That was his main emphasis. But he didn't just come to teach us love, but he came at the same time to demonstrate to us how to love. And I hope that was evident in some of what I had to say. I have some suggestions if some people want to carry on in this theme to learn more about Jesus' teachings on love. They can read the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew's chapter 5, 6, and 7, and study that. Make it a little bit of a study, or they can read the whole book of Matthew to get a picture of Jesus' whole ministry. Or if they're want more to do than that, they could do the lessons of A Course in Miracles, 365 daily lessons, which are a teaching on love, Jesus' teachings on love.
Thank you, Ellwood. And I'm sure you'll be able to maybe stay a little bit in fellowship. I'm sure everybody like me has questions for you. And just once again, like really powerful background and experience and teaching. So thank you so much for sharing a part of yourself with us today. And I think maybe we're having a song now, so I'm not sure, but thank you again, and see you in fellowship.
Amazon is calling, help this planet Earth. Voices from the jungle, help this planet Earth. Rainforests are crying, help this planet Earth. Hear the tree that's falling, help this planet Earth to stay evergreen, ever blue as it was in the beginning. We've got to see it through, oh, evergreen, ever blue. At this point in time, it's up to me, it's up to you. Ocean waves are rumbling, help this planet Earth. Voices from the seaway, help this planet Earth. Water's for the drinking, help this planet Earth. Beluga whales are singing, help this planet Earth to stay evergreen, ever blue as it was in the beginning. We've got to see it through, oh, evergreen, ever blue. At this point in time, it's up to me, it's up to you. Right now is when we need it. We can all do something, young and old together. The more we get together, the more we help this planet Earth. From all United Nations, help this planet Earth. Children of one mother, help this planet Earth. With love for one another, help this planet Earth. For our sons and daughters, help this planet Earth to stay evergreen, ever blue as it was in the beginning. We got to see it through, oh, evergreen, ever blue. At this point in time, It's up to me, it's up to you. Evergreen, ever blue, as it was in the beginning. We've got to see it through. Evergreen, ever blue. At this point in time, up to me, it's up to you. Come on and help this planet Earth. Oh, help this planet Earth. Oh, help this planet Earth. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful song. Oh, are we not blessed as a community? Such a powerful teaching on, or like real life teaching from a Canadian perspective, from a group of people that we don't normally hear a lot about, the Inuit. And thank you, Ellwood, and thank you, Reverend Roxanne, for just bringing out the beautiful, subtle flavors of that life. And I'm really struck that there was a time when no prisons were needed among the Inuit. There's something in that for me to contemplate on. And I'm sure that I shed tears. I'm sure that all of us as a community did. And so as we move into this time of prosperity, oh, I invite you to take a breath in and just like feel how prosperous and abundant we truly are. And especially if you happen to be out in nature, you were gifted, oh, just exquisitely with, leaves coming out in the trees every day. They're bigger, there are more of them. Flowers, birds coming back from the south. Oh, I am just in joy. And so because you give so generously of your financial gifts, we are able to live our mission of expanding consciousness and transforming lives. And your gifts help sustain USCO, because without those gifts, we would not be able to provide you with this spiritual nourishment on a Sunday. And the board of directors is, and always is, grateful for the gifts that you give. And let us affirm together our affirmation here. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I have, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. Ah, blessed be. And there are many ways to give. They're outlined in the newsletter as well. But you can go to, I am on my phone and I'm a little challenged with seeing that. So let me see. Yeah, you can go to, there's a donate button on our website at unityottawa.org. Tithely up, e-transfer to the Unity office email address, or by traditional check by mail to the address on the website. And so we are going to, just in the sake of time, Spencer, we're just going to bypass the song, The World We Love, and we'll hold that for another time, and when you're back among us. So let us say the blessing for our center. Together, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa is abundantly blessed. Creative people are drawn to us. Divine ideas flow through us. Financial resources bless us, and we accomplish mighty works together. And imagine that this beautiful little mourning dove is cooing our blessing as it takes flight. And now to the children's blessing. So this is a reminder that we are holding all the children in our lives within our heart, that we are holding the child within us, within our heart, and the children of the world within our hearts. So together, let's affirm, you are the peace, the love, and the light of this world. Let your light shine. Thank you, Spencer.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, yeah, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Gonna take this light around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. Take this light around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. Take this light around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Well, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Every day, I'm gonna let my little light shine.
Yes, 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 yes. Our little lights are not just shining, I think they're glowing and radiating, to be honest. So it's time for our thank you, and there's little Bambi. Oh, again, Ellwood, thank you so much for the many lessons that you brought forward on the power of love, the power of Jesus's teachings on love. And it was a lovely reminder. I spent a week in Iqaluit many years ago, and it's just a lovely reminder to be taken back to that place. And we can go forward with the question, show me how to see through the eyes of love. Yeah. And Reverend Roxanne, I think you did an awesome job as your Oprah debut. Thank you, thank you. And so also we have Spencer's music, and it's always beautiful to have you and your energy and your joy of music that comes through. Spencer, thank you so much. Lynn Atterbury for selecting the music along with Spencer today, for your beautiful prayers, Mary. We are blessed to have you as prayer partner. Kate for the daily word reading, and Terrio, who is co-host, assisting Sheila with just keeping track and making sure that we're all muted when we need it to be. And Sheila, as always, thank you for your role as Zoom guide at the beginning and fellowship organizer, in addition to these beautiful slides that you put together for us every week. And most importantly, thank you to all of you who've shown up and participated and, really enabled the juice of this service to flow out to each of us as we are nourished in so many ways. And so next week, we have our Earth Day Serenity service with the prayer partners, and I'm so excited about this one. It's one of my favorite ones. Well, I say that about a lot of our services, but I really love the Earth Day service. So a reminder that we have Mary's our prayer partner on duty, and just send an email if you want a personal prayer. There's nothing like a personal prayer, seriously. So if you would like to have a personal prayer, Mary would be more than happy to share that with you. So please email that request to the office just to say you want to be connected to the prayer partner, and Sheila will send that off to Mary, and she will get in touch with you. The other options are unity.org, downloading the YouPray app, and of course Silent Unity at 1-800-NOW-PRAY. So we have our songs. We have Spencer here in person to sing them, which is really beautiful, Spencer. And I just want to say, acknowledge from all of us how grateful we are for the recordings when you're absent, that we have a voice with words to sing, to sing along to, and it's really enhanced our experience of that.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's just really wonderful. And so in closing, as we go forward this week, pause frequently, breathe into your heart center, remembering your true nature is love, asking, show me to see through the heart of love, pure love, respond from love, connect with nature, know yourself as nature. Notice the changes that are happening every day. Go in beauty, blessed be. And so As you prepare for our closing songs, a prayer of protection, you're invited to hold your hands up to receive the blessing. And then for the closing song, just imagine you're in a circle holding hands with everyone present here today. And so I leave you, I bless you for a beautiful and uplifting week going forward. And thank you, Spencer, for taking us out to our fellowship at the end.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence wherever we are. God is, and all is well. Let there be love on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be love on earth, a love that was meant to be, with God ever present, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let love begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment, live each moment, to love eternally. Let there be love on earth, and let it begin with me.